For 3 years now, I've been doing the bit of, what if I use an auto shotgun but like an AR? And I've done that for the Jak 12, the Striker, the HS2126, and it was all good and fun. But what if that was the weapon gimmick? What if you're forced into a very unfun playstyle? What if you're chokeholded into doing that with the Einhorn Revolving shotgun? The Einhorn, real name the Schrotflinte Systembecke, is a full-auto cylinder-fed shotgun from COD Vanguard that in real life was designed in 1899 and only entered production about 30 years later. Even then, barely 100 were ever made because the design was extremely expensive and complicated to manufacture. In the end, it never gained any real traction, nor has seen combat, as a blow-forward revolving shotgun was simply too niche and impractical outside a handful of collectors and hunters. In-game, the Einhorn has a base fire rate of 300 rounds per minute, the third highest fire rate in its category, making a 5-round mag dump take 800 milliseconds and 1.2 seconds for the 7-round cylinder, but its base fire rate can be increased through attachments. Recoil, like all shotguns, just goes up. So instead, I'll talk about the max recoil. What is max recoil, you ask? It's simple. All guns in the game have a recoil that caps after holding down the trigger for a certain amount of time that can reset if you remove your camera. In the case of the Einhorn, recoil caps after 2 shots, which gives you the rather weird option to aim at the ground. So you can let your max recoil direct your 3 remaining shells to do like 40 damage. Truly game changing. Speaking of damage, let's talk about the damage profile of the Einhorn, which is very simple. In the first damage range, you get 18 damage per pellet, 15 for the second damage range, 14 at the third, and you really shouldn't use this past 10 meters as it isn't accurate enough to support it. Ah yes, accuracy. Let's talk about that for a moment. Hipfire accuracy is roughly about the same as the VLK, so it's not really recommended unless you're kissing the enemy, but ADS aim is where it's at, increasing its usability much more since you're not dealing with the insane hipfire recoil kick, while tightening the pellet spread well enough to squeeze out a couple of meters of effective range from the Einhorn. The other stats of the shotgun goes as follows. ADS time is 200 milliseconds, which is pretty much the standard for shotguns. Movement speed while equipped is 4.84 meters per second, which goes up to 6.05 meters per second. In walking speed is 2.66 meters per second, sprint to fire time is 180 milliseconds, which you can ignore by jumping or walking before shooting. And finally, a full reload on the Einhorn without reload cancelling takes about 8.7 seconds, which means you are taking around a second to load a single shell. For reference, a full reload on the MG42 with the 250 round box mag without reload cancelling takes 7.9 seconds, and with reload cancelling takes around 6 seconds, and you'll have to take a while to empty it. Fortunately, there's a saving grace in the form of the 5-round mag that quickly reloads all 5 shells in 2.3 seconds for full reload and 1.3 seconds for a tactical reload. So now with all the boring stuff out of the way, let's get into the part most people care about, and that's the Gunsmith. But what can you do with this really? You could rectify the reload problem by putting a 5-round mag and sleight of hand. You can put the Clouser 700mm barrel to extend its range, add on the Clouser S2 stock to reduce the recoil kick while speeding up your ADS time. Maybe put the SMLE pistol grip for a faster sprint to fire time, but you could switch that out for anything really. Finally, we're on to my thoughts of the Einhorn, which I don't really have much to say about it positively. You could say it has a fast fire rate, but the Jak 12 takes the cake for that. You can add a mag attachment that bypasses the whole cylinder reloading, but pretty much all other shotguns reload faster than this. So in reality, the shotgun is 99% downsides for a faster fire rate. The trade-off is that you have a low mag size, a fast fire rate that empties 5 shells as fast as you can reload a single one, horrible kickback while hip firing, which leads to poor accuracy. You're chokeholded into using certain attachments, and all that for a gimmick that's better handled by other shotguns. Horrible weapon. I don't really recommend anyone using this, and I don't see a place for it in the meta that isn't just the panic weapon you switch to when you're in a pinch. And even then, it's covered by any fast fire rate pistol or SMG. So yeah, that's about it really. See ya when I see ya. Thank you to Jai Michael and Kanda Doan for subscribing to the channel.